Welcome to Quality Quick Tip Video's Introduction to Genogram Analytics. This video has been created for protection and safety workers in creating a genogram, adding siblings and relatives, and adding attributes, for example teachers, personal characteristics, and institutions. So we'll start by going to our Genogram software. When you enter the software, it'll ask you to enter a new genogram family name. If you don't see that, you can go to File. It'll have a drop-down for New Genogram. Select that, and it'll give you that option. For this family, I entered Walsh. Now we're going to be adding our first person. For this case, I'll be adding the master case household name, which is Maggie Green. Select her gender and her birth date. There we go. Okay, so let's find where Maggie is, and we can bring her over. And Maggie is the mom of this household, and as you can see, as I move the dot, her name will follow along. These are her basic attributes with her name and her birth date. Let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger so we can get everything in. Okay, now we're going to add on her spouse. As you can see right here, this is the spouse button, and if you hover over it, it should pop up and tell you add spouse, add parents. So we've added a spouse. We'll double click into the box and we'll add on her husband. Make sure you have the gender for male, add in the birth date. And then when everything is done, you need to click update, so I'll add it on. Go ahead and click on that line. This will give you the relationship, and we have them as married. You can add in a start date if you want, if you happen to know it. If you don't know it, you can go ahead and leave it blank. It just won't have it on there. For the purposes of this family, they are currently divorced, so I clicked onto where the marriage was, and I get the option to select something new. So I'm going to list them as divorce and update, and you'll see the double lines. Now I'm going to click on the blue line again and right click so I can add their children. And select add child. Our first child is Carl. And add a second child. And this one is female, and this will be Beth. And then select OK. If you need a little bit more space, you can just move these around and the boxes and the names will follow them. So we're also going to add on one more person here to Maggie. I don't want them over there, I'm going to move them over here. Select their line, and yes, I did hit the spouse line. This is going to be someone that she's currently living with. As you can see, it changes the dotted line. Select on the box, and this is her boyfriend, Glenn. And you can also move the names around too if they just don't go where you want them to be. And we're going to highlight this line so it turns blue and add in their children. They have one child together. That'll be Andrea Russell. And her birth date. Now, if you're wanting to add attributes, let's say Carl in this case is our ward, we can say that he is either recovery for alcohol, alcohol abuse, suspected alcohol abuse, suspected drug abuse, recovery for drug abuse, or you can go to Edit Attributes and get a whole list of different ones you can add in there. For this case, we're going to say that our 16-year-old is suspected alcohol abuse. He has, let's see, depression and schizophrenia. We'll do that and we'll select OK. Occasionally the system has a delay on it, so we'll just be patient until it catches up. There we go. Over here you'll have your legend of telling you what each little dot and color means. These are also movable, so you can space them out, make it a little bit easier. So the yellow square here, as it was shown on the first one, like this, is the suspected alcohol abuse. And then the dots are your depression, your schizophrenia, and each dot or each diagnosis has a different color. As you can see, it's kind of covering up his sibling. So we'll go ahead and move Dad over to give us a bigger line, move Carl over, and then his diagnosis moves with him. That way it's more readable. So now we're going to add on a teacher. So we have him highlighted. Right-click to Relationship New. And we're going to add in Professional. This is going to be Sue. Going to look down till you find what you need, and we have a teacher. If you happen to know his start date with this teacher, you can add it in. Okay. And we can move her over, so now we know that's his teacher. We'll highlight him again, right-click for another professional. And this is Dr. Williams. We'll make this his psychiatrist. And select OK. And whoops. There we go. And we'll move him so we can see who that is too. Okay, we're going to move Shane just a little because I want to add on oops. There we go. Alright, we're going to add on Shane's parents. Move these legends down a little. And the reason I'm adding on his parents is because his sister is going to be Carl's placement. So you don't have to add in the parent's name if you just want to add in the sibling. This will be Aunt Mary. And we're just going to move her over here so we can kind of see everything. On your regular Genogram, it's a lot bigger space. For this video, it is a little bit more condensed, so you have a lot more room to work with if you need to spread things out. So we'll go back to Carl, click on him again, right-click for Relationship New, adding an institution. We're going to put Aunt Mary for foster care. And he was placed with her on, we'll say September 10th. And there's your foster care placement for Carl. Now if something changes, he gets to go home, you can add in the end date. You can update it so whenever you go back and click on it, it shows it. Or if it's completely out of the system, you can select delete and it'll take it away. Thank you for watching this quality quick tip video. I hope this assists you in creating your Genogram analytics.